In my life, I have learned many things from my family, friends, and educators. Be polite, laugh often, go to school, treat others the way you want to be treated. But I think the most important things I learned in my life have come from my job and those who are there with me. I've learned to truly live each moment like it's your last. I've learned to care so much for others and to have empathy. I've learned to be tough when you feel like breaking down. And I've learned that helping others can feel superior to helping yourself any day. I work as a certified home health aide in an assisted living home for residents with Alzheimer's and dementia. It's called Sunrise Senior Living, and they call us care managers. I've been at this facility in Jackson, New Jersey for 3 years now, and each day on the job is more rewarding than the last. A quick lesson on what this disorder is in case you're unfamiliar with it. Dementia is the decline of mental ability that is severe enough to interfere with daily living. Dementia is not a specific disease. It is an overall term to describe symptoms related to memory deterioration. Its symptoms include issues with memory,
my husband came. No.
Communication.
We had that 2, 3, or 4, and it comes down.
Ability to focus, reasoning and judgment, as well as visual perception. Alzheimer's is a disease, and it is the most common form of dementia. Alzheimer's causes problems with thinking, memory, and behavior. How are you today?
Take a shower.
Oh, you want to take a shower?
It only drip.
It is not a normal part of aging. It worsens over time, and there is no current cure. So those who stay with us are there for the rest of their lives, and we as care managers are there to make them as happy and as comfortable as we can. Each of our residents is different. Each person has a different severity of the disease, and each needs a different type of care. What we do for them on a daily basis varies from person to person. But I don't want to be the only one to tell you how this experience and how working with dementia can change you. So I asked some of my coworkers to express their thoughts about the job.
When I worked as a care manager, you were physically doing everything for these people. You wake them up in the morning, you get them dressed, you bathe them, you help them brush their teeth and wash their hands. You bring them to the dining room, and sometimes you have to help feed them their meals. You do activities with them. You bring them to the bathroom. You put them to bed at night. You tuck them in. It's, in a way, like caring for children, but much different, because you have to treat these people with the same dignity and respect as anyone else, even though their minds aren't the same.
Yes, this job can be very intense at times because it can show you where you could end up in the future.
Of course, I love them. Love them to death. Do they drive me crazy? Yes, they do. But they're like family, blood or not.
Each adds such a lovely part to the home, and each resident has a story we can learn about. Whether they can tell us themselves or we have to read about it in their care plan, we care managers get to experience a part of their lives with them.
Some of them are very comical. They tell you their life stories, and it can be very funny at times. They make you laugh and cry all at the same time. So there is positive and negative sides to it.
This disease can take us to a dark place. Seeing someone's life deteriorate is not easy for anyone.
Getting old to me is very scary at times because I look at these people and they're crying for their mom and their dad, and we know that they're not here.
I was hoping she'd come. I was hoping she'd come. I was hoping she would come.
But you really can't. You want to tell them, but you can't at the same time because they don't understand. They really believe that their mom and their dad is still living and that they're coming for them. So it's sad. It's very sad sometimes.
In that field of work, the burnout rate is extremely high because it is such a difficult job, which at first glance it may not seem, but doing it day in and day out can be quite frustrating when people ask you repeatedly over and over, "Can I go home?" or "Where is my mother?"
If I can go home, I'm hoping I can go home. I'm hoping. I was hoping that can I go home?
Or "Why are you doing this to me?" Or it could be anything. Sometimes they're not even able to speak clear sentences, and you don't understand what it is they're saying. And while a million other things are going on, can be extremely difficult. And on top of it, when you know they may be trying to take a swing at you while you're cleaning them up, helping them in the shower. It's a very difficult job, but it definitely teaches you a lot about who you are.
But in all honesty, there are ways that this disease can be beautiful. For example, we have 2 residents who met each other while living in Sunrise, John and Suzanne. They had separate rooms, have no history together, and they both have Alzheimer's. When they met in our home, they instantly became somehow attached to each other. There was a connection that only the 2 of them could understand. John cannot communicate well. He ends up saying sentences that are hard to interpret.
Oh, they don't? Okay. We'll get some more then.
But for some reason, Suzanne is able to sit with him all day and talk to him like it does make sense, because to her, it does. The families who visit these 2 saw their connection and decided to let them share a room together. John and Suzanne met over 2 years ago, and to this day, they walk hand in hand around the home like they were made for each other. This disease may have made them forget their own names, but they do not forget each other.
I work as a nurse now, and I was taking a review course on Alzheimer's the other day, and I read an interesting statistic. I believe it said on an average day, a person with Alzheimer's is only able to use 1/3 of their brain.
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
Did you have dinner?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Excellent.
What did you eat?
I had eggs, drink, and coffee and cake.
And it was good?
Yeah.
I'm glad that you liked it.
I like it.
I don't know if it's because I'm only 20 and I still am so impressionable, but this job has allowed me to mature much faster than I ever expected. My residents are all teachers to me. I have learned more from those who have lost the ability to speak than from some of my mentors, and I will be eternally grateful for my experience here, however long it may be. This job is so emotional. It makes you laugh, it makes you cry, it makes you afraid. It makes you think. We are only human. I don't think I could have said it any better than that. I love you.
No, I love you too.